This is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. Me and Jimmy Tippett, we went to see a geezer called Terry Coombs. A lot of people over Lewisham and around that way, Blackheath and Catford, Deptford, will know Terry Coombs. Terry Coombs can have a right fight, yeah. But what happened? He had a debt. He had a debt, and he went to collect the debt, and his people were giving him something to cover the debt. So anyway, Terry was quite happy with it, and then Terry give it to some people for X amount of money. Now the people got back to him and said there was barbarians inside it. Yeah, so to make the weight up, there was four barbarians inside this key of white stuff. Yeah, so Terry's got hold of me, Jimmy Tippett, and also Cliff Fields. But Cliff Fields wasn't there, but we had to go to Cliff Fields. Yeah, because where we had to go wasn't a nice place. You know what I mean? So anyway, we got hold of Cliff Fields, picked him up at the station, drive to see Terry, got the fullest pay of it. He said, "Look, these guys owed me X amount of money. They gave me a key of this white stuff, and when I give it to these people, they was happy with it. And all of a sudden, they broke it up and put it into pieces. And there was, I think it was three or four barbarians inside, and I mean the ball bearings weighed. I think there was about 2 ounces each, something like that, or an ounce each. So that's a lot of money, you know what I mean? So Terry said, "Look, come with us, and we're going to go back and get it. You know what I mean? Get the money that they owe me rather than this stuff, yeah." But it was a traveller's site, yeah, and it was over Hove that way, yeah. So we had to drive all the way to Hove with me, Terry Coombs, and what you call it, and Jimmy Tippett, and there's Cliff Fields. Cliff Fields is in the front because he's so big he can't sit in the back. He's massive, isn't he, Cliff? You know what I mean? Massive head, and like he's a bit overpowering, Cliff. And so anyway, we're driving down there, and Terry Coombs was saying, "So look, let me go in there first and have a talk to these people with Jim." And you and Ray, Cliff and Ray, you two just stay outside in the car. No problem. Stayed outside the site. Yeah, it was a travelling site, big travelling site. Yeah, over Hove. And so we were sort of driving down. We just talking about what happens and what could happen, this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, Terry Coombs pulled out his hand thing. Yeah, I went, "Hold up, Tel. It's a bit over the top, this mate." And he said, "Listen, mate, these people took the piss out of me, right?" He said, I'll give them what I'll give them, and they owed the debt, and this has got to be paid, and this is what they give me. I ain't going to go in there empty-handed, right? Because they've already tried to F me off, you know what I mean, by giving me this, and I ain't having it, mate, you know what I mean? And when you see it, it's a liberty. I mean, the stuff itself is absolutely really fucking strong. It's the boom. It's absolutely perfect gear. You know what I mean? But the only thing is, it ain't real because you've got the ball bearings in it. I think there could be 8-9 ounces less. So it's quite a lot of money. You know what I mean? So Terry's going mad. And Cliff Fields, he wants to go in with Terry, but he said, "No, let me and Jimmy go in there." And so they walks into the site, and all of a sudden they come out, and Jimmy Tippett has come rushing out to the glove department, pulled out this hand thing, and rushed back into the site. And then me and Cliff, we followed, running the site, and there's all these travellers that want to have it, that want it. You know what I mean? So Jimmy pulled out his hand thing, put it in the geezer's head. He said, "Listen, let me tell you something, right? You owed my mate X amount of money. We want it, yeah? We want it. If you don't give it to me, mate, I'll blow your fucking head off, you know what I mean? Like that." I went, "I'll leave with Jim." Do you know what I mean? It's a bit over the top, this, mate. And I said, this big traveller come out, big fat guy on my ginger hair, you know what I mean? And he's gone to Jimmy, "Listen, I'll tell you what I'll do, Jim, right? Me and you have a fight, and if you lose, you stick to what it is. If you win, I'll give you your money and you can keep what's in there, yeah? You can keep what we've already give you." So Jimmy said, "Listen, what's the point of that? You've got to give it, you owe us what you owe us, so why should I want to fight you?" He said, "Listen, you're going to gain out of this if you win. If you lose, I don't owe you nothing. You just take what that shit was given to us, all right? That was given to us, and we give it you. We had no idea there was barbarians in it, which they did, you know what I mean? But, all right." So Jimmy's gone, "I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do. You can fight this big geezer here, man in Cliff Fields. And this big traveller fella, He said, "Who's that then? Who is it? Who's the geezer who fights? I fight him anytime, anywhere, any day." He said, "It's Cliff Fields." So you can see the geezer's face change. This geezer's face changed, I swear, my God. So Cliff's coming in, we go and fight, you know what I mean? We're over by his lake, yeah, and loads of us. Listen, this geezer come out to have a fight, this traveller. Don't worry about that. He can have a fight, he weren't no fool, but he's fighting Cliff. So anyway, Cliff's, like, he kicks off, yeah? Now Cliff's smashing him to pieces in a way, you know what I mean? But the geezer ain't giving in. He's still fighting. The geezer can take a punch and all. Cliff's hit him a few times on the chin. The geezer just rocked his head. This geezer's massive, mate. It's a big traveller, massive fella, yeah? In the end, Cliff banged him on the chin, and that was it all over. And we collected what was given us, and we also had the four ball bearings and the thing, yeah. So we were shooting off, yeah. All of a sudden behind us, was a lorry, yeah. There's a lorry following us. So Jimmy said, "Oh, that's the travellers. They've come to a war with us, yeah. I'm not joking. They've come to a war with us. They're in the lorry. The team down it." And Jimmy did it. He makes me laugh, Jim. He stopped the motor, jumped out the motor. He's got a revolver, yeah, not automatic. He's got a revolver, yeah. This thing's one of them army football big ones, yeah, with a football piece. You know, bang, 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 bang. He shot that thing about 4 times, mate. I said into the engine, blew the engine up, mate. Blew the engine up, boom! It just went, mate. Blew the engine up. Got back in the car and drove off, yeah. We drove with the cash, the gear, and the ball bearings. So I said to Jim, "What am I getting the ball bearings, Jim?" But we got a nice day's earnings. I took a key an Oz of the white stuff, and at that time I wasn't on it as such, but I was on it, yeah, and took it home and had a couple of 3 days of proper gear. You know what I mean? I was at my nut for 3 days, and I wasn't with my Danny. I wasn't with my Danny then. Danny wasn't even known then. You know, my Danny, I didn't even know my Danny then. Yeah, you're talking about what 70, 80, 81, 82, 81, 82. And Cliff, yeah, let me tell you something about Cliff Hills, yeah. This geezer, ain't fighting no man. This geezer can have a right fight. Cliff Field can have a right fight. Not only is he a good boxer, but he can have a right fight. Anybody that's sparring partner for Cassius Clay is respected. And I respected Cliff. Even though me and Cliff we had a few rounds ourselves. I fancy that I could beat Cliff. Well, I don't really know. You know, I fancy we've had a few things in the Cat's Whistle Streatham. We've had a few rounds in there. You know what I mean? And it was, it was just a show. You know what I mean? But I still went in with Cliff, and he can bang, mate. He can bang. He just comes forward all the time. He just keeps coming forward all the time. He don't stop. He throws punches, and if they hit you, mate, you're in trouble. No, he doesn't. It's not really. He's not really defence. He doesn't really do a lot of offence. He's bothered with him all the time. But he's just throwing punches, and he could hurt me, mate. He used to hurt me. 16 ounce. We didn't have 8 ounce gloves. It was 16 ounce gloves at Scatchwell Stratton for Eddie Richardson. I mean, it was just a sort of like compare thing, you know what I mean, to get in the ring and show people, and it was that, but it was good. It was good, and it was a draw. It was a draw. We only had a couple of 3 rounds, but it was something. Yeah, it was nice, to get in the ring with Cliff Fields, and do that. But as I said, I've been in with Bugner. I've been in with Billy Ed, you know what I mean, and anyway, and I know I'm winning people, well, Bugner, I mean, I didn't do many rounds with Bugner. Bugner's a bit of a bully, but he ain't a bully, but I remember I'm an amateur, and I'm getting in there with him, but he didn't hold back. Well, he's a professional fighter, he didn't want to hold back, he just wanted to let me know he was the boss, yeah. But Billy Ed, he would teach me more. He would teach me more than want to knock me spark out. You know what I mean? But with Bugner, he just come in to bang you out. You know, he didn't bang me out, but he hurt me a few times. You know what I mean? But anyway, so me and Jimmy used to do quite a bit of work. You know, and Jimmy's quite dangerous. And I didn't realise that he was that dangerous. Jimmy, I mean, when he took when he took that handgun out, mate, and then stopped and bang bang fired it at the engine. Do you know what I mean? A complete nutcase. It was a big Magnum, mate. It was a big shot. You know what I mean? I think it was a 44 or 45. I'm not quite sure, but it was a big, powerful gun, mate, and it blew that engine to pieces. Just blew it up, and just got back in the car and drove off. You know, the travellers must have proved themselves with Jimmy Japs over there. Whether or not they had guns, I don't know, but they come to a war with us. They come to get their money back and their gear back. They didn't win. No way. You know, and I mean, we didn't always do work with Cliff Fields. I mean, Lloyd Wolfen, the black guy. Me and Lloyd had a few rounds and he gave me a concussion. But we've had a bit of work with Lloyd Wolfen, taking him over to Brixton that way with some black people that owed money to people. It's Lloyd's thing. It's me and Jimmy and Lloyd. I didn't really like going into them sort of places, the black people, black areas. You know, because you'd always have a war. It was always I mean, travellers, you can have a bad war. You know what I mean? You can come right unstuck, but with the black people as well, you can come right unstuck because they stick together. And when it goes on, it's you know. But with Lloyd was one of the governors over there, over in Brixton, and we went to get a bit of money, and went in to see these people into Shabine, really, like a Shabine place, gambling place. It's Shabine, I could get it called. Went in there with Lloyd, me and Jimmy, and Lloyd had a few words with people, and he was giving the money, but we got a bit of bad looks from these people, and it really kicked off. It really kicked off. Maybe there was 10 of us, the three of us, you know what I mean? But more like we got really hurt. I don't know, you know what I mean? We didn't go in there tooled up. We just go in there to have a fight. And when you walk in there, there's 10-handed and they're all big lumps, and they're all Jamaicans, and all talking blood, like all that thing, and what you're doing and coming in there with these people, with white people, and all that, and, you know, ain't good as it. But I still have had a row, mate. I'm not bothered about that. You know what I mean? If you get hurt, you get hurt. That's what it's all about. But you know, getting stabbed up is a different kettle of fish. I do want to get stabbed up, but if you get stabbed up, you get stabbed up, and it's one of the things that happen. But Lloyd got what he got, and a couple of times, me and Jimmy just gone out by ourselves, no one else. And Jimmy's really good. I mean, Jimmy does what he does. He learnt me a lot about being an enforcer. He learnt me a lot. I mean, Jimmy TIPPET, right, was a very hard man. He could have a right terrible fight. He was a proper gangster, without a shadow of a doubt, yeah. But I mean, to start doing what he done and to show me things that make people. I mean, he showed me something, yeah, with these guys, yeah. There was only guys that owed a bit of money. One of them was a bit leery. Jimmy, you know, just said, look, do yourself a favour, pay the money. We're going to come back later on. You know what I mean? If you don't pay the money, you're in trouble. Right? We went back, and this guy gave Jimmy a bit of stick. Jimmy hit him on the chin, right, and knocked the guy over. And the next thing you know, this guy is in trouble. Jimmy's sitting on his geezer, right, and he's not mucking about. This geezer is cutting bits and pieces off this guy's fingers with a pair of road cutters. With a pair of road cutters, he's cutting his fingers bit at a time, cutting his fingers. And this geezer's screaming, man. This geezer is screaming like a dog. But Jimmy said, listen, if you ain't going to pay me, if you're going to get leery, this is what happens, mate. Bit at a time, bit at a time. In the end, the guy at the pavement, and I thought to myself, hold up, that's one way of doing it, you know what I mean? And Jimmy didn't muck about. He just cut his fingers off with a rose cutter, bits and pieces, click, click, click. And the guy, mate, you could hear him screaming from here to fucking, from where he was, right away to Uxbridge or Illingdon, 100 miles away, you know what I mean? He was in a bad way, this guy. Jimmy just clip, about 4 notches down his finger, and that's it. The geezer actually lost his finger, mate. And I mean, to go that way ain't a nice way to go, mate. I swear to God, ain't a nice way. If you have a debt and you ain't gonna pay the debt, and someone starts clipping your fingers off, it ain't nice. And Jimmy taught me that. When I was an enforcer, uh, and I used to go up North, Liverpool, Birmingham, Manchester, all around them places, and get my money back, mate, for a certain company that I work with. it was the exact same thing, mate. You should go to proper metal clippers, yeah, metal ones, yeah, the ones that cut the big the aluminium and all that, going with them, and just same thing, mate. Chop their fingers off, mate. Bit at a time. If you ain't paying the money, mate, I'm telling you, you will pay it. You will pay me. You will pay me one way or the other. After that, or you lose your fingers. It's as easy as that. Snip, snip, snip. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Mail. Please press the like button and subscribe. Good night. I'll get me good night. I told you I was doing any punches. Hey, good afternoon, yeah? Take care, bye bye.